Hello students. Before starting the test discussion from test 77 onwards, I observed one thing in the classroom that students they are getting so much material, so many assignments they are getting from different sources, and a lot of students they do not learn the concept because by that time they feel that okay, I know this concept and I should directly try the assignment. But in real, their learning part is not completed yet, okay, and they are trying the assignments, their doubts are still common which were there I think few months back, similar type of doubts, still similar type. That means their learning part is incomplete. So what I will suggest to you that students whenever they are getting any assignments, before that they should learn that particular concept from NCERT, from the notes, or whatever material they have solved whole year. From that they quickly go through whatever their doubts were at that time, marking already they have marked it, so quickly complete that learning stuff and then solve the assignment. That is the one point which I want to share. Now starting with the question number 1. Question number 1 is 1 mole of chloroform during hydrolysis requires dash moles of KOH. You have to identify how many moles of KOH required. Option not given. Second question is rate of dehydration among them A, B, C, D, E. Only 2 options I have given because remaining options you can easily eliminate. These are the 2 close options. So you can pause this video, you can try the answers. I am writing first one. 1 mole of chloroform during hydrolysis. Now we know that in chloroform it is CH and Cl3. One by one all Cl will be substituted by OH because it is hydrolysis done by KOH. So 3 moles of KOH used and it forms OH, water eliminates, it gives formic acid. Now due to alkaline medium, what happens further, this will lose H plus, means acid base reaction takes place and 1 more mole of KOH is consumed, so it will form salt of carboxylic acid. So answer will be 4 moles of KOH. Next question is rate of dehydration among these alcohols. Now we know that in rate of dehydration first step is protonation, loss of water molecule, and then carbocation is formed, which is the slowest step. So by that logic if we go, there is slight controversial point, but we can go with the answer of NTA, that here eliminating the other options, these are clearly CB. Okay, C is tertiary, it is also tertiary. Then this is having 6 plus 2 8 alpha hydrogens. Here 6 plus 1 7, very close. Here 8, there 7. Final product more branched alkene there, final product less branched alkene there, right? Same way here between A and D. A is secondary, it is also secondary. In this case it is 4 alpha hydrogen, here it is 3 alpha hydrogen, but here we can say more branching or more branched alkene as the product. So in this case what we can consider here, like SN1 of alkyl halide we know, in that SN1 alkyl halide we write that beta branching increases, rate of SN1 increases. It is for that part. So similar point if we want to use in E1 reaction, because it is rate of dehydration in with concentrated H2SO4 generally. So here this is tertiary, it is tertiary, and it is alpha carbon, it is beta, alpha carbon, it is beta. Which is more beta branching is there. By that concept if we go, so yes, we can explain it that the answer should be between C and B. Which is more branched? It is third and then second. But by final product it is difficult to compare because rate of reaction is basically dependent on the RDS step. That is why I am saying the reason may not be correct, that is final alkene which is more stable. The reason should be that beta branching is there and that stabilizes the intermediate carbocation form because of the strain is released. Same concept in this case. Fourth one D, alpha beta carbon. Here it is alpha beta carbon. From alpha finally water release, leaving group, beta carbon branching here. So which will be faster in the formation of carbocation, it should be D1. That is why it is correct. Because other logic is opposing it, that hyperconjugation more here, here one less. But difference is not much. One hyperconjugation difference is there. Here is more CH3 group. Here is one C2H5. Here there are two CH3 groups. So inductive also favors and beta branching also favors. So we can go for answer, that is C, B, D, A, E. E will be last. It is what? Primary. And between D and A I have compared already beta branching. Between C and B also, between beta by beta branching, both are tertiary. A and D both are secondary. Next question is acetylene obtained from among them by electrolysis. You have to identify among them which can give acetylene gas by electrolysis method. These are the options given. Fourth one is direct question. I think last to last mock test same question was there, so you can write the answer. It is dialkyl cadmium with acetyl chloride. ठीक है, ये acetylene obtained by electrolysis. Which method we have done in the notes? It is coal-based electrolysis. Even in the which video it is covered? In the alkanes video it is covered. In alkenes also mentioned. In alkynes also mentioned. Sodium fumarate. Sodium fumarate. It is from fumaric acid, right? Or we can take sodium maleate. One is trans, one is cis. We know in coal-based method. Mechanism is already done, so I am not mentioning detail about the mechanism because which is covered, not required to be written again in the mock test discussion. So when they leave, it results into radical formation and they quickly combine to give acetylene gas. Whereas sodium succinate, it is from succinic acid, that means this is the structure. When they will leave, it results into radical which gives cyclopropane, or we can say if it will combine, it gives cyclohexane also. But ultimately this will not result into any formation of acetylene. So answer will be both sodium fumarate and sodium maleate by coal-based electrolysis method. Then next question, dialkyl cadmium. This is what? It is simply one of the R will attack here. We can take 2 moles. It will be simply substitution of Cl by alkyl group. It will be C2H5. How many times taken? Twice. Plus means CdCl2 formed. Fifth question is maximum number of carbon atoms linearly arranged in this molecule. Maximum number of carbon atoms. So maximum number here. This is Sp. It is Sp. Sp means linearly arranged. Sp geometry is linear. That means they are at 180 degree. They are at 180 degree. And this carbon which is sp3, it is sp3, it is also sp3, it is directly connected to sp carbon. That means this bond is also 180 degree. Why? Because this carbon sp is forming 180 degree bond angle. Remaining hydrogens of this carbon, they are at 109 degree like this. But the question is maximum number of carbon atoms that can be linearly arranged. This one, this one, this one, and same for this one. Answer will be 4. Next question is Kb comparison among these amines. You can see this is PH, CH2, NH2. It is PH, but withdrawing group is there, and here there is no withdrawing group. In fact, releasing group. So maximum basic strength is for C, then for B, then for A, and last for B. Why? Because withdrawing effect is more, less is the basic strength. Here also minus I effect of benzene ring is there. It is still less as compared to C. Maximum C, then A, then B. Next question is anhydride and esters can be distinguished by. Now among these 4 options we have to select which is the best one. Okay? You can select it. I'll answer. 8th question is write down the products formed. I'm answering question number 7th. Anhydride and ester can be distinguished by. First option is alcohol. We know alcohol will react with both. Normal substitution reaction takes place. So we cannot consider first one. Second one, ammonia. Again nucleophilic substitution takes place. We cannot consider. With water. If you remember for anhydride, that reaction given with water, if we heat it, it simply undergoes substitution reaction. And when acid anhydride undergoes reaction with water, it gives what? It gives the carboxylic acid. ठीक है. Ester directly will not undergo reaction with water. It is very slow reaction, so that's why we never write water. We write simply acid catalyzed reaction or base catalyzed reaction of ester, in which it undergoes hydrolysis giving acid and alcohol. But here only water is mentioned, so we can keep it safe, so that we can, out of the options, we have to select best one. Aqueous NaOH. Again, aqueous NaOH means it is alkaline medium. Ester easily undergo hydrolysis, gives alcohol and acid, and anhydride will also undergo hydrolysis in this medium, giving carboxylic acid. Now, among these options, only with water, ester will not give this reaction easily. Anhydride will easily form acid, and that acid will give, or will give test of the litmus, which is blue litmus to red. It forms blue litmus to red. That means litmus test will be given by anhydride after treating with water, but ester will not give this test easily. So among them, the best option is with water. Okay. Then next question, phenol with catalytic hydrogenation, and then it gives reduction, that is it gives cyclohexanol. ठीक है, it is simply catalytic reduction of benzene ring by using H2 nickel, high temperature and heat temperature and pressure. Then copper heat, standard reaction of secondary alcohol giving cyclohexanone. ठीक है, that is the product form after Cu heat. Now after hydroxylamine, it is standard reaction of carbonyl compounds with nitrogen derivatives, which is giving oxime formation, right? Now after oxime formation, H plus is given, and you have to write the final product. So if you remember this one, oxime with H plus, it is a particular name reaction, which is Bachmann rearrangement. Which rearrangement? Bachmann. And its mechanism also I have explained. Maybe in any mock test, in the description you can see some reactions are covered as per the asked by the NTA. So there I have mentioned its mechanism, in which protonation takes place, water release and ring expansion takes place, and gives the formation of caprolactam. I think that is the structure. Why? Because one, this will be attacking there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will be the structure. So you can go for that one, which is water releases here, and this will attack. And when it will attack, this bond is cleaved. Yes, that will be introduced. So you can see which reaction, Bachmann rearrangement, which is covered in any mock test. Now I do not know, I think within 10 to 20 it is covered, I think so, but in the description you can check. With mechanism I have explained it. The next question is stereoisomers of this compound. Very easy question. Why I have given it? Because after a long time I have seen this question in the NTA. Although in the notes you have done this type of example several times, which is 2,3-dichlorobutane. This is butane and 2,3-dichloro. Okay, which case we will take? Two chiral centers. Where we have done this case? In optical isomerism. Two chiral centers, compound is symmetrical. That means direct formula, which is 2 raised to power n minus 1 plus 2 raised to power n minus 2 by 2. It is even number. So you can put there 2 raised to power 2 minus 1, that means 2, plus 2 raised to power 2 minus 2 by 2, that means 2 raised to power 0, that means 2 plus 1, 3 isomers. Okay, direct question, very easy question. You should do it in one go. Next question, write down the products formed here. Pause this video, try these questions. Next question also, ethylene glycol on heating with anhydrous ZnCl2, write down the final product. 12th question, which is not example of Sandmeyer reaction. A, B, C, D reactions are given. You have to identify which is not the example of Sandmeyer reaction. 10th question, first is which HBr, addition of HBr to alkene. What is the product form? Markovnikov addition. This is formed with aqueous NaOH. Br will be substituted by OH. That means here it is forming up to isopropyl alcohol. Now standard reaction we have done several times, in the notes also covered. Iodoform test is given by isopropyl alcohol. Why? Because firstly it will oxidize it to acetone, and then acetone will give iodoform test, which gives CHI3 plus CH3COO minus Na plus. So that is the final product. Among these options you can easily select that one. Next is ethylene glycol with anhydrous ZnCl2. That means it after heating it simply removes water, which is that water is released and it will give water after removal. It will give what? It will lose water like this, OH and H. This will be leaving and we get what? By removal of H2O, it forms enol, that is CH double bond CH2OH, and enol of this is not stable, it quickly goes for the carbonyl group, which is CH3CH. Tautomerism takes place. So that is the way from one carbon OH, from the adjacent carbon hydrogen will be taken, so that you can consider water elimination. Next question is, which is not example of Sandmeyer. First one is clearly example of Sandmeyer, which is CuBr, CuCN also there. Now answer given in NTA is wrong, which is given C, that CuNO2 gives, because reason is also wrong given that Cu plus is there. But in Sandmeyer reaction we can either take CuCl, CuBr, or we can take CuCN or Ki also given in the reactions, that we cannot require any catalyst. With Ki solution it also gives the test. So among them the only answer is, which is not an example, C is the answer. Rather in NTAF D is given, which is given, D is given, but it is incorrect. So when you solve this you can report there also that answer is C, which is not anywhere mentioned for Sandmeyer. ठीक है, remaining are given, CuX given, X we can take Cl, Br, Cn also, Ki also given in Sandmeyer part, but this is not given, which is CuNO2. Next is a reaction which is Grignard reagent with Cu2. We have done this reaction in carboxylic acid derivatives topic. ठीक है, simple reaction, C double bond O, it will leave, CH3 will attack, sorry, it will nucleophilic addition, it forms CH3, C double bond O, O minus with MgBr. After hydrolysis we get carboxylic acid. ठीक है. Question number 14 is NN dimethyl aniline with concentrated HNO3 and H2SO4. Write down the major product. That will be a new reaction for you. Why? Because aniline we have done, but not for all tertiary aromatic amine. Only for aniline that reaction we have covered. So I am writing its answer, that actually in this case is similar to aniline. Remember what happens in aniline? That aniline firstly takes H plus, becomes anilinium ion, it is deactivating, and that's why the product significant amount of meta product. But in this case mainly the product is only meta. But it is which case? In this case mainly the product is meta product. Why? Because what is the reason given? Although we know that it's mainly giving meta product, the reason is firstly NMe2, that is secondary aromatic amine, is stronger base as compared to aniline, so it takes exclusively more H plus, and then it becomes deactivating group, and that's why mainly we get meta product. 15th question is hyperconjugative stabilities of tertiary butyl carbocation and butene are due to. So options are given. It is a previous some years back that question was asked. Tertiary butyl carbocation. So what are the reasons for that? Why it is stabilized? Due to sigma and pi electrons, sigma and pi orbitals involved. Which orbital? P orbital, which is vacant. Carbocation contains vacant P orbital. CH bond of carbon and hydrogen electrons, they participates in delocalization with empty orbitals. Select which option where it is giving sigma and P vacant orbitals. For butene, now for butene the problem is by option you will find it difficult. That's why I am saying that when you eliminate the option, eliminate by sigma and vacant P orbitals. In this case P orbitals are not vacant. Then what happens? Sigma and P orbitals, which are anti-bonding, or we say pi star anti-bonding orbitals, they participate. So here the answer is which orbital participates? That sigma CH and pi star orbitals. So that is the reason we can eliminate it by using this information, because we generally do not use anti-bonding orbitals in cases of this hyperconjugation. The next is 2,4-DNP can be obtained by reacting hydrazine hydrate with hydrazine hydrate. Simply you take it as NH2 NH2 and H2O is present. Mainly the reaction is same, which is hydrazine present. So among them, which will generate 2,4-DNP. Now 2,4-DNP, where it is covered in the carbonyl compounds, that 2,4-dinitro, second and 4 dinitrophenylhydrazine. So here it is simple reaction where you can see it is not 2,4, it is not 2,4, it is not 2,4, it is 2,4. That Cl will undergo substitution by the nucleophile, that is NH2 NH2. It will give, it is 2,4,6, it will also. So only answer is option number C, which will give after the reaction Cl will be substituted by hydrazine, and that is 2,4-DNP. Next question is, you can try the question one by one. Pause this video, I'll say what is the question. Which acid exhibit among these four options, which acid exhibits stereoisomerism and also forms cyclic anhydrides? To get the answer for cyclic anhydrides, which part you should remember, that in carboxylic acids we have done blank rule. You can see the videos also, notes also written, I think videos also covered blank rule. Even in some mock test I have told that blank rule is what? In dicarboxylic acid with 0 and 1, removal of H2O. 0, 1 means between two COOH group if there is no carbon, which means oxalic acid. Malonic acid is one carbon, then both sides COOH. In both these cases, remove water. After 0, 1, 2, 3, that means oxalic, malonic, after that succinic and glutaric. If there are 2 or 3 carbons in between the carboxylic group, dicarboxylic group, then remove H2O and anhydride will form. That concept you can use here, or you can watch this video of carboxylic acids. So here you can use which is firstly exhibit stereoisomerism. You can see where chiral center is there. So firstly we can see where there are 2 or 3 carbons. 2 carboxylic group, between them how many? 1, 2, 3. Okay. It is satisfying the condition. Here carboxylic 1, we can eliminate this option. Then here this is CH2 and this is so many carbons, leave that one also. Actually it is CH2 5. I think it is CH. It is actually branching is there, below branching, CH2 5, that means that is the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. So it is carboxylic 1 and 2. In between how many carboxylic group? In between carboxylic how many carbon? 2. Other is branching. Same way here 1, 2, 3 and there is branching, but we know that if that is the case or this is the case, how many carbons? 3. Then water eliminates and anhydride form. Planck rule we can directly use. So that is the hint for us, if you remember that one. Otherwise it will be slightly difficult to answer it. And here in between them there is only one carbon, eliminate this, so which will give. Now we check stereo. This compound is chiral center, yes. This compound is also chiral center, yes. So that means both A and C are correct. In next question, it is already discussed in the POC part. Here again it is there. That concept was discussed. Question is there. Aniline and methylamine, that they can be distinguished by which option? First is SnHCl. Second is NaNO2HCl at 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. Second step, alkaline beta-naphthol. C option, para-toluene sulfonyl chloride. Now identify it. I am answering it. Pause this video and try this question. So we know that in POC also we have done aniline, which is primary aromatic amine, and it is primary aliphatic amine. They both react with C option, which is just like Hinsberg reagent, just like they both gives this test. But with beta-naphthol only, which gives test aromatic amine, and it will react with NaNO2 to form diazonium salt, and then diazo coupling reaction takes place. Diazo coupling reaction takes place. Even in the beta naphthol test, I have explained in the mock test, one of the mock tests. So therefore, it will give a colorful dye, red color dye or red orange dye. It will not give any such test. So we can use beta naphthol test to distinguish primary aromatic amine from aliphatic amine. Okay. Then next question is a reagent which reacts differently with HCHO, CH3CHO and acetone. Among them, which will react differently with them. So answer is the how. I'll explain it. Although in carbonyl compounds chemical reactions I have only mentioned this term, that ammonia can be used to distinguish formaldehyde, acetaldehyde and acetone. That I only mentioned, no explanation given. Only which reaction given? This one. In which video I am saying? In carbonyl compounds chemical reaction. Why? Because others are not given, so I have only mentioned this reaction, but term I have mentioned around 16th minute in the carbonyl compound video. In the notes all reactions are given, so you can see how it reacts differently. Other react same, like they will both they will all undergo nucleophilic addition, but with ammonia after nucleophilic addition they undergo some kind of dimerization or trimerization. So you can see here formaldehyde when reacts with this one with ammonia, it forms this compound which is hexamethylene tetraamine, which is urotropine. Now already in the mock test once again it was asked previously, urotropine. It is used to treat urinary tract infections, or controlled nitration of urotropine results into formation of RDX. Okay, it is the reaction of ammonia with HCHO. Then with acetaldehyde it reacts -3H2O, it gives a trimer. Which trimer? Acetaldehyde ammonia trimer. So that is the reason we are saying that we can use ammonia to distinguish these three compounds depending on the four options given, or we can say with ammonia reagent these three reacts differently. HCHO gives urotropine, acetaldehyde gives this acetaldehyde ammonia trimer, firstly normal nucleophilic addition, water removal gives this compound, 3 trimerization takes place, and this is the compound form, that is trimer form. And with acetone after treating with ammonia it forms this type of compound. Then it is what O- will take H and NH2 attacks. Then with another molecule, how to remember, remove water, and this carbon is bonded to CH2 and this is diacetoamine formed. So ammonia can be used to distinguish these three compounds, HCHO, CH3CHO and acetone. Okay, thank you.